Wow. You rug pulled Mickey Mouse?
RIP to OpenAI's Sora platform. They announced that Sora was going away, or at least the Sora app.
Oh,
Apparently, Disney had no idea Sora was getting pulled.
wow. You rug pulled Mickey Mouse?
You wing hooked.
Is that another?
Hey, have you ever seen the cartoons where like someone's doing so bad on stage and then this little like hook comes out
Yes.
and grabs them around?
Is that a wing hook?
That's what I would consider a
Okay.
wing hook because it comes out of the wings and then it hooks them and yanks them off stage.
Okay.
I don't
see.
know what the like technical actual term of it is, but I like to call it a wing hook.
That's a good name. It sounds real to
Fair
me.
enough. Yeah.
They pulled the rug out from underneath
now on,
Disney.
Rug pull and wing hook. Or
They did both at the same time.
They said rug pull. Wait.
From DogHouseSystems.com, this is the DogHouse Podcast.
Let's go.
Another week, another fantastic Doghouse Systems podcast. As always, I'm joined by Abby
Hello.
and Robert.
Hello.
And I'm Lorenzo, because I usually forget to introduce myself. How are you both?
R.I.P.
How are you both doing this week?
I'm doing good.
I'm doing good.
Okay. We're recording this the week of April 1st, so we'll have to see if we get fooled by any of these articles.
Yeah.
The first one I immediately thought and was hoping that it was an April 1st April Fool's article. It is not. DRAM prices predicted to jump 63% in Q2, NAND prices up to 75%, following 95% jumps in Q1, according to a Trendforce survey, stating that AI server demand keeps supply tight.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
And I thought we were just recovering too.
Yeah.
I thought so too.
I thought we were leveling out.
We had seen some, I guess, normalcy with pricing. I wouldn't say return to previous pricing on our memory. Is that right?
Yeah.
Like they'd kind of plateaued out. Okay.
That's the big thing is we haven't seen exponential spikes in pricing. They have been either very steady or they have only climbed a little bit.
Yeah. We haven't seen price drops, but we haven't seen dramatic price
I would
increases.
love to see them drop.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we were talking about this a bit before the show. We'd seen some CPU price increases as well. So just across the board, seems like technology is becoming a little more expensive.
Yeah. I think maybe a couple months back, we also saw a little bit of an increase in graphics cards, but those have been consistently level since that price increase.
Yeah.
So
We did see Google related story release, or I guess document TurboQuant, which sounds like a 90s action, like kids cartoon hero, TurboQuant. Yeah. Which is an AI memory compression algorithm that they say can do the same amount of work in memory by using 6 times less memory for AI workflows, which is actually pretty cool. They go into a few details, but it's a little bit over my head, to be honest.
talks about vector quantization. But then I'm trying to understand what vectors are, because I think vectors are SVG files and photo editing files.
Okay.
That's what I think vectors are. So them using the terms vectors, saying that they say, quote, that it is the fundamental way that AI models understand and process information. Okay. So
yeah, I was thinking vectors like in physics, like vector, like direction.
They say that high dimensional vectors capture complex information, such as like the features of an image. So then they compress the data to reduce the size of high dimensional vectors. I guess it'll be really interesting to see how this gets utilized.
Yeah, and if this can be used by more than just Google's AI team. Or even maybe for system memory, that would be really cool. So it says that the high-dimensional vectors lead to a bottleneck in key value cache, a high-speed digital cheat sheet that stores frequently used information under simple labels. So I imagine this may work a lot like compressing files works, where it finds the same like segments or series of bits or bytes that go into a file, and then stores it as, okay, this exists X number of times. So anytime it's a reference, it's just a pointer back to that one segment. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. Maybe this will be the break we needed for memory pricing to finally return to normal. In other AI news, RIP to OpenAI's Sora platform. They announced that Sora was going away, or at least the Sora app. I think they went back and edited that post to say Sora app instead of Sora in general. So they may be repurposing that model for something else. But according to Kotaku, OpenAI's Sora was reportedly losing the company about $1 million a day just through the cost of generation.
They had 1 million daily users at one point, according to the Wall Street Journal. That eventually dwindled to about less than half of that.
Wow, people got bored really quickly with that AI stuff.
Did either of you see, I know you mentioned you'd seen stuff posted that had the little Sora watermark. Did you see that drop off over time, or?
Oh yeah, I started hardly seeing any Sora videos on my feed.
I think after we talked about the videos, they just
that was it?
disappeared.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Maybe companies are going to start telling us not to talk about their product on here anymore.
It's the DogHouse Systems social media curse. Wow.
Wow.
That would be really bad.
R.I.P. It may also be just the fact that they've been slapped with a lot of cease and desists, and that probably doesn't help.
Yeah, taking a lot of people's characters off the site, and just being unable to make a lot of things that people were on there expecting to be able to make, probably reduced a lot of the interest a lot of people had coming in.
Yeah, because they got to pay the price to have the IPs, and that specifically, if Disney allows them to have.
That was the odd thing, is they had that partnership, I think a 3-year partnership agreement for use of some of Disney's copyrighted IPs on the Sora platform.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were trying to have that deal. Didn't that deal get canceled?
The article that we're referencing does talk about the Disney. They invested in OpenAI about $1 billion into. So to be. Apparently Disney had no idea Sora was getting pulled.
Wow. You rug pull Mickey Mouse?
You wing hooked.
Is that another?
Hey, have you ever seen the cartoons where like someone's doing so bad on stage and then this little like hook comes out and grabs them around?
Is that a wing hook?
That's what I would consider a wing hook, because it
Okay.
comes out of the wings and then it hooks them and yanks them off stage.
Okay.
I don't know what the like technical actual term of it is, but I like to call it a wing hook.
That's a good name. It sounds real to
Fair
me.
enough.
They pulled the rug out from underneath
now on,
Disney.
Rug pull and wing hook. Or
They did both at the same time.
They said rug pull, wing.
Man. Yeah, it is interesting that they would shut something like this down, or at least not announce a different. I would imagine that it would have gone just paid only.
Yeah.
Instead of being completely shut down, or at least for their, was it premium subscribers or plus subscribed out? I don't know what the subscription is called.
So the link to a different article that's linked in the original article is the internet reacting to OpenAI killing Sora, and the first photo is of the Flash TV actor. What's his name? Grant Gustin. Have you seen the photo of him with the peace sign next to the headstone?
No, I haven't. Oh, yes, I have.
They posted that photo with Sora's logo on the gravestone.
That's pretty funny.
As like the head image.
That's funny. I wonder who Disney are going to next for an AI partner then.
Is there another, I guess the term I'd use is mainstream or like popular online AI video generation platform? I know there are lots of like open source or you can like run yourself, but I don't know of anything that.
Like a form that is social media platform.
Right.
I have no clue.
Gotcha.
This actually also, I did see something. They had There was a Twitter post. Sorry, there was a Twitter post that I just saw that this might be the continuation of the downfall of AI. There was a group of farmers, I do not remember where, spent 5 years in court fighting a data center and got it shut down.
5.
Wow.
5 years.
They got it shut down. What was the court case about?
Probably how loud it was.
Mm-hmm.
They had the videos of the before and after the data center being shut down was what popped up on my Instagram feed. And the first 5 seconds was it drove me crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I cannot imagine living next to a data center. It is just so loud and so annoying and just like high pitched. And you're like, I want this off.
Yeah, let alone putting it on farmland or near farmland where it's obviously going to be polluting the area a bit.
That too.
Or even just if they have livestock, like disrupting sleep cycles or natural like flora, fauna. Yeah.
That causes way too many problems to have a data center next to a farm.
Yeah, so I wonder if this will be part of the downfall. I'm not sure that Lorenzo's laughing at me, but like I know that AI is not going anywhere.
Yeah.
That is like a straight fact.
No, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at the we tend to be pretty measured on our approach.
Yeah.
Obviously as an, company podcast. But just the headlines I can imagine seeing like AI is done for. This is the end. Like
maybe it'll start the beginning of more restrictions on where exactly these data centers can be. Because as of now, they're building them in masses everywhere.
There's a lot coming to Texas.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder where they're going to build them all.
So maybe people will have to start thinking twice about whether or not they can build a data center here.
According to the internet, there's over 380 facilities here in Texas. Wow. 172 plus in Dallas alone.
Yeah, I was going to say, I could believe that.
Dallas has quite a few. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
New pitch to the government. AI sectors just in the middle of actual nowhere, like the desert.
Yeah. Well,
maybe not the desert.
Like, where's our water cooling?
Not,
maybe.
Well, that and like not anywhere that's,
That's the problem. As soon as it's like, well, where?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking like,
because it's probably either naturally preserved land or it's someone's farmland.
Yeah. Someone's backyard, so to speak. Yeah. Never mind. Forget I said anything.
Let us city goers take on all the AI downfalls.
DogHouse Systems does not claim to be a consultant for where to build your next AI data center or the government.
Do not trust any.
Do not take everything we say with a giant heap of salt. Yes.
All right. I found this one and I actually couldn't believe it. I thought I was getting, scammed by April Fool's Day, but this one was posted on the 2nd. The world's oldest tortoise became exploited in a cryptocurrency stunt.
Jonathan.
Yes. Okay. Jonathan is estimated to be 193 years old. I'm gonna do some quick math.
So Abby looks that up.
Minus 193.
The account was Joe Holland's vet, claiming to be Jonathan the tortoise's veterinarian.
This article confusing me. It said he had died, but he'd lived.
Okay. Apparently, so if this turtle is 193 years old, he was born in 1833.
Nice.
Okay, sorry.
You're good.
For anybody that knows me really well, turtles are one of my favorite animals. I'm very fascinated by turtles. So 193-year-old tortoise is pretty amazing. So on April Fool's Day, like Lorenzo said, there was an account on X that said he has passed away. And nobody really questioned it. It had a blue verified check mark, but the problem is now you can buy those.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
You do not have to prove that you are a legitimate account anymore like you do on Instagram or Facebook.
To me, on X, a blue verified account means they're untrustworthy, in my opinion.
Do you think so? They went the extra mile to make you try and fool you into thinking that they are a legitimate account?
It's just that I know for X, a lot of accounts with blue check marks get paid for engagement. So a lot of them will try to push out just whatever news will, get the most engagement.
Yeah. So this tweet spiraled into a BBC article,
Wow.
a Wikipedia update, and probably a lot of broken hearts. However, the island of St. Helena, where Jonathan currently resides, did tweet out a photo and pushed out a statement that said that he is very much alive and well, and that this is an entire online hoax.
Yay.
But here's where it gets into the cryptocurrency stunt, because you're like, why are we talking about a 193-year-old tortoise who could or could not be alive? The account that had originally published that he had died had a link to an address to buy Solana meme coin based on Jonathan the tortoise.
No.
Trading the meme coin shot up on Wednesday as the hoax went viral. Yep. It also looked like this guy had been preparing for this for months. The name got changed in January, so the account name got changed, and it reposted anything and everything it could about Jonathan and St. Helena Island.
Wow. So he made himself trustworthy to that community before hitting them with the...
But if you continue to dig further into this guy's account, all it is about cryptocurrency.
That's pretty devious.
That's
that's a
pretty
heist.
mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, it appears that he does not have any remorse about doing this and pushing this stunt. Even writing to one angry user, quote, "It was a turtle, calm down." So that's so mean.
Absolutely. Wow.
That's a mean thing. That's a mean prank to pull on April Fool's Day.
Yeah.
If you're going to pull a prank, pull one that doesn't include announcing someone has passed away.
And financially enrich yourself.
And financially enrich yourself.
We'll have another one about financial enrichment later in the show, in my opinion.
In some way better news, there is a new California law being proposed that will give the children of influencers the right to remove any content that features them as minors from the internet.
Fantastic. Yeah.
So SB 1247 will force social media platforms to provide a way for adults to request this type of content to be removed if it is created by a family member who made money sharing the material online. So if you have a monetized YouTube account and you are posting videos of your children under the age of 18, and your children grow up and say, I don't want this content on the internet anymore because it sucks, I don't want to be a part of it. If this bill were to be passed, then they have the right to reach out to the platforms and say, I want you to remove it, which is super big because most of the influencers and the child actors are all based in California. I'm not sure how it would work with former child actors. I wonder if that one might be maybe a tad bit harder because the programs that they may have been on are probably syndicated.
Yeah, rights holders have different contracts with parents and production studios. It's not just social media platform.
But if you are a family influencer, you probably have a better chance of getting these videos removed.
Can't see anything wrong with this that I can think of.
Yeah. I just wish the clause of having to have made money by posting the content maybe wasn't in there. But I get that adds a way for them to claw back something, a financial incentive to make these platforms.
One of the children of a social media influencer did talk about the impact of the photos and the posts that her parents did put up on the internet, saying that she wished that they had never seen the light of day and that they had shared details about her life, her health, and things she didn't want on the internet. The article continues on with I know her from a bunch of stuff, Allison Stoner. She started in Cheaper by the Dozen. She was in Camp Rock and a whole bunch of things in the Disney Channel. She has been very open about the impact of being a child actor. So I'm hoping that this law will also protect child actors in a way that keeps them from getting hurt, as we have seen a bunch of former child actors have, when I was growing up. So the bill has been put forward by Senator Steve Padilla. He is also known for SB 764, which forces family vloggers to set money aside for any child featured in their content. That law went into effect January of 2025.
Fingers crossed more states pick up some kind of legislation like this.
Actually, Utah and Minnesota have passed similarly broad laws giving children of influencer parent rights that include the right to compensation and content removal under certain circumstances. So I'm hoping more states will do it, but from all of the content I have consumed, those are primarily the big states that California and Utah are like the two big states I have seen a lot of family influencers move to. So, but yes, I hope more states
would adopt like GDPR's right to be forgotten. That would be pretty neat. Yeah.
Brian Raffel, who co-founded Raven Software in 1990 with his brother Steve, is officially retiring from game developing after working for 36 years. He has been the vice president of Raven since its inception and the studio head since 97. In 2024, he co-shared the position with Dave Pellis, who joined in 2011. He also served as the vice president of Activision from 97 following Raven's acquisition by the publisher. So applaud to him for retiring. His brother Steve retired from Raven in 2017, which is crazy. The first title published by Raven Software was Black Crypt.
I have never played that game or even heard of it. I do know Raven Software, they produce every other Call of Duty game. Is that right?
Yeah, they've produced 18 of the Call of Duty games.
Wow, that is crazy. They also published Wolfenstein, worked almost exclusively on Call of Duty, leading to the design of Warzone, as well as working on campaigns for Cold War, Black Ops 6, and 7. So go him, or,
Enjoy retirement.
Yeah.
You worked on some great games, or worked with the studio with who makes great games.
Yeah. Well, in news that almost had me fooled, I had to do a little bit of searching around, and looks like the stock took a little bit of a jump.
Oh no!
I think it jumped about $5 in stock price, which is pretty wild. TechSpot had a great April Fool's article that says AMD says it will buy Intel, completing the strangest reversal in chip history. And honestly, it was just believable enough for me to look at it and then think, yeah, okay, let's include that. And then I started looking around for other articles to corroborate. Nothing. All I saw was, don't worry, AMD is not buying Intel. That would have been quite the reversal. AMD started by manufacturing Intel's chips before my time.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. So Intel had the x86 architecture. AMD then extended that to now what's called AMD 64. So 64-bit architecture is created by AMD and jointly licensed between Intel and AMD. Neither one can, as far as I remember, I believe the agreement is neither one can sell or extend their license to another company.
Okay.
So they're the only two companies allowed to use those instruction sets in their CPUs.
Interesting.
Yeah. Co-licensed x86 and 64-bit.
Yeah, that would have been a shocker if that happened.
Yes. Yeah.
They would have introduced the Ryzen Core Ultra 7.
Core Ultra 7X 3D. Yes. Extreme.
Now I'm starting to miss all the possibilities.
They did have one product. Oh, it was a NUC, like a gaming NUC, like a little mini PC. And it had an AMD GPU and an Intel CPU on one chip. Okay.
Sorry, I'm laughing because as you continue to read through the article, this article just has a bunch of like questions to ask.
Yes.
And the last one they ask is perhaps the most urgent. Who gets custody of the blue logo?
Yeah. Who would keep the blue logo? AMD was green and then acquired Radeon Technologies Group.
So now they're about
red,
like a reddish orange.
Yeah, their Ryzen line has the orange circle.
And then Intel has always been blue.
I wonder if they'd bring back the Intel skull. Intel Extreme Editions used to have a skull as the logo.
Really?
Yeah. So the NUC was the Hades Canyon NUC.
They'll start.
I mean, Raiden is pretty extreme with the skull. That would be pretty
Ryzen
cool.
Extreme with a skull.
They'll start making them like they used to name aircrafts in World War II with the logos and
Yeah, and have like the little shark teeth on the front.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've come a long way from those days in PC
The edgy
component, designs. Yeah.
yeah.
They used to have like video game characters or like anime characters or dragons on the box for like a GPU or a motherboard. MSI still has the dragon as their logo,
Yes.
but it now is in a little shield emblem, not just a big dragon, which is what it used to be. Yeah. Well,
As for news that I wish had me fooled, PlayStation 5's prices are increasing by up to $150.
That is crazy.
Yes, it is. It's going to slap an extra $100 price on the base PS5 and PS5 digital. However, the PS5 Pro is going up to $150. So the base PS5, with the disc drive, new price is $649, with its prior price being $549. For the digital, the new price is $599, with the current price being, or the old price being $499. And for the PS5 Pro, the new price is $899, with the prior price being $749.
And when do these prices take effect?
The prices take effect April 2nd, which at the time of recording has already passed. So
just let you know, you should have purchased your PS5 Pro last week, unfortunately. They did give, I think, 5 days notice.
Yeah, they get
from the day that they published the
did.
price increase. Yeah, so giving people a little bit of heads up too.
And they had a massive amount of sales come in on that.
I bet. Yeah.
Oh, I bet, yeah.
People who are on the fence maybe about buying one.
Been like, ooh, do I really want to pay the new price, or should I just go ahead and bite the bullet and get it?
Yeah.
The PlayStation Portal, the remote player device, also increased from $199 to $249.
$240. It's streaming only, right?
Yes, it's streaming only.
That's a tough price for a streaming only device.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sony blames the rise in price on the economy, but they kept things kind of vague, hinting at the memory shortage being the biggest culprit to pretty much everything else that's going on.
Yeah.
So
is a tough time for just hardware in general.
Yeah.
Anything that has memory or storage in it.
yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. I don't remember a time when the PlayStation 5 started at $399, but
apparently that was the launch price.
Apparently that was the launch price.
Yeah.
Of course, most of us can get our hands on one, and that's probably why I don't remember
Yeah.
it
Yeah, they
being
were
that cheap.
sold out and being scalped for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I remember my dad was looking for a PS5 for like ever. Finally found one.
Did you get the disk drive or the digital version?
I think he got the disc drive because he's very much a disc person. So we've got a bunch of old disc games.
Gotcha.
Well, consoles are getting pricey now. Might as well get a PC.
Yeah.
Yeah, that PS5 Pro is not going to be too far off from our VS pricing.
Yeah.
Not to persuade you any specific way, but we are the Doghouse Systems podcast, and you might get a lot more life out of a PC than you would a console.
Yeah.
You can certainly do more.
Both devices. No, I'm not going to do that.
Okay. Are we sure that this article is real?
You know how hard I had to look to verify the truth of this article?
Are we?
I don't know.
Are we sure this next article is real?
This one's real.
This one got published.
in game.
It
April
did.
Fools.
It did. I know. I've seen gameplay. It's out. The skin is out. It's real.
It's just ridiculous. Both of them.
You know, I think I've seen the ballerina cappuccino before.
It's the lowest rated skin in Fortnite right now.
is?
Yep.
Why?
Because it's a AI character. It's the first AI character.
Oh, it's an AI. I don't
yeah.
know the background of
These two are AI original characters, just generated from AI. And I think these are first AI only Fortnite skins. And I'll probably get into that.
I thought it was because the head was really big, so it was like a big target to aim for.
You know what? That's a good
I was
reason.
thinking of just the gaming aspect.
That's a good reason.
You show up there, it's just this giant, like
giant target.
espresso cup.
That's why I thought. I was like, man, that's a really big.
All right,
hit
Robert,
for the head.
give us some context.
All right. In news that I thought I fell for, Fortnite's Tung 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 Sahur and Ballerina Cappuccina skins are out now. They were teased in Fortnite's last trailer months ago, and I thought it was completely a joke. Every time I saw it, I thought it was a verified account on X, just farming engagement. But now the first ever AI original characters are in Fortnite.
So what is it? The tongue Sahur?
Yes.
Sure.
That's good.
Is a brain rot style creation featuring an anthropomorphic wooden creature wielding a baseball bat.
Yes, that's Tung Sahur.
He looks like a baseball bat carrying a baseball bat.
He does. I wonder what prompt they were given for that. I think that's exactly what it was.
Baseball bat wielding baseball bat. Yeah.
Baseball bat with arms and legs.
Yes, and Ballerina Cappuccina is a cup of cappuccino coffee, looks like.
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
a ballerina skirt on and a kind of an anthropomorphic human body.
It looks like they took like a ballerina body and just like shoved like a cappuccino cup
Yep.
on top of
Gave it a face.
and gave it a face.
Yes. I wonder who they went to acquire, just to even be able to add these skins into the game.
So these just someone generated these and started making videos with them
Yes.
before Fortnite got involved. Is that right? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
it
they were
does
they were just used by anyone who wanted to make a Fortnite, or not a Fortnite, a brain rot video, an
Yeah.
AI generated brain rot video.
So the origins of the anthropomorphic wooden character comes from February 28th, 2025, when a TikToker posted the first known image of this creature man thing at a transportation station, and it got posted with some some creepy music, and it went viral during Ramadan.
Wow. So he was supposed to be a horror character.
I guess it went viral, racking up 42.5 million views and 3.1 million likes. So it is They say that it is based on Indonesian and Malaysian cultures. Some of their prayers, I believe. I could be so wrong. Please forgive me if I am, but
So maybe there's a little more significance there than we know about.
yes.
Yes, I didn't catch this, but Sahur, I sorry if I butchered.
So
Cappuccino ballerina is a little more clear cut.
she does.
And she's just a cup of coffee.
She's a cup of coffee that
She's
dances
just a cup
around.
of coffee that's just a ballerina.
Okay.
She's trying her best.
And it looks like they'll also have a bunch of meme-inspired emotes as well in the game.
Yes, I think Tung Sahur swings his bat and she just dances around. I've seen a lot of people use the 6-7 emote with them.
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah, the not 5, not 8 emote. Sorry if we just set off your child or you. In other gaming news, looks like Farming Simulator 25 is being used for a pretty cool purpose.
Of the sound of the drum.
So he may be the drum stick.
He could very much be a symbol of the call to prayer time.
That's really sad that now it's just a meme. Actually, yeah.
I've never seen it used in that context at all, and I think he's detracted a long way from what he's originally was.
Yeah.
That's kind of sad. Yes, Farming Simulator 25 is being used to train young farmers in real classrooms, not just at home to get a hang of the game, that they're using this as a tool to help train young farmers in a way that they would understand and pick it up efficiently. Students playing the full simulator-style setup game, including a dedicated controller, eye-tracking tech, and a curved display designed to mimic sitting inside real agricultural machinery like tractors and combine harvesters.
Wow.
That's very impressive that this game was able to mimic it down to that degree where even all that stuff that was set up would even be able to operate. The class also introduced some of the biggest issues currently facing farmers today, including labor shortages, climate risk, and falling income. Using the game, students have been experimenting with different strategies from crop selection to production timing and can see how those choices play out.
Wow.
Yeah. This isn't the first time that a teacher has used a video game in their classroom. There was a teacher that went viral for using Assassin's Creed Syndicate to teach his students about the Industrial Revolution.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild. Okay.
And to think I always talk down on Assassin's Creed for not being historically accurate.
Surprise, it is.
Yeah, it has some events in there that could be used to teach. That's great.
So the school that this class is at is the Tokyo Metropolitan Agricultural High School. They built a special class around the game that, like Robert said, will allow these students to learn what it's like to be a farmer. It allows them to learn about the machinery in a safe environment, which is especially considering that one of the students reportedly drove a tractor off of a cliff.
Yeah, that's a lesson they'll only need to learn once, thankfully, digitally.
An event you will not likely walk away from in real life. So really glad that this is virtual.
Yeah. I'm sure he was just being a little more carefree knowing he was in a game.
Or he may not have seen the cliff. You never know.
You're right.
You could be riding along, planting your little stuff on your tractor, and then all of a sudden, cliff.
He's too enthralled with the greenery.
Bam, surprise cliff.
Oh, no. Well, in other cool news, I guess,
Some good news, some fun news.
Artemis 2 launched on April 1st.
So exciting.
It is awesome.
They actually had a six or 7 day choice, depending on weather. I'm sorry if I just triggered all of your kids.
See, they can't see at home. Some of our members started doing the meme. Yeah, so they did have a choice of when to launch. Yeah.
It was a 120-minute window for each day for them to do it. I actually found out so much fun stuff about this. Has been like my favorite topic to talk about in the past couple of days. They have a shuttle crawler that moves a mile an hour, 4.2 miles from where it has been stationed to the docking station. And it has been in use since the Apollo 11.
Wow. Okay.
That crawler has been operational since it carried, I believe, the Apollo 11 to
That's insane.
the shuttle to the launch site. Yeah, but Artemis 2 did not come with a couple of bumps and bruises. There was reports that some of the technical stuff inside the Orion capsule did not work as planned. The team was able to get that worked out with their launch director and troubleshoot any issues. However, this one was circulating that they had issues with Microsoft Outlook.
Not great.
In the air.
Yeah. They were theorizing that the Optimus software could be the issue. They were having trouble with Outlook. They had 2 instances of Outlook running, but neither of them were working.
Oh no.
I think I might have had that problem before.
I think we've experienced similar issues
Yep.
here on Earth.
Yeah. So the Houston ground team was able to remote in, take a look, and the issue was resolved. So that's really good that they now have access to their Outlook emails.
Oh, that's good. I'm just imagining getting a call from one of our customers. Help, I am leaving Earth. Here's my TeamViewer credentials. Can you log in and take a look? Yeah. No. So they will orbit around behind the moon. And during that time, communication with Earth will be completely cut off.
For 45 minutes.
Yes.
Wow.
They will be cut off from complete contact cut off for 45 minutes.
So
You think they're going to play Pink Floyd while they're on the dark side of the moon?
Dark side of the moon. Wow. They
Sorry,
might.
I
They
had
might.
to.
you're right. They need to make a playlist for
They-
for when they're behind the moon. They can't sit in utter silence. I'm trying to think of a deep way to put how they're going to be cut off from communication while being the furthest people away from Earth
In history, yeah.
In
that is
history,
pretty-
yeah.
in history.
What was I going to say? Yeah. I don't know.
The article has a diagram of their entire trip or the proposed mission trip. Yeah.
Yeah, they are, I believe, yesterday. Oh, I shouldn't say that. They say, if I'm remembering correctly, the second, somewhere in the early evening, they did their translunar ejection push that will get them out of Earth's orbit into the space between the Earth and the moon for the moon's gravitational pull to pull them in, to slingshot them back to Earth.
Sounds about right. They've also sounds like they are around that area because they've also released footage or a picture of the Earth from outer space, and it looks nice. They caught a aurora borealis, I think, or it was just I forget what it's called.
They caught, they caught the auroras.
Yeah, that's it.
The trajectory pushed them to almost see the entire North and South Pole.
Wow.
And Africa in the middle, and the aurora borealis. The astronauts report that they have been glued to the windows of the capsule and have asked the ground team how they clean off all of the fingerprints on the glass. So now I remember what I was going to say. So the Artemis 2 is just as everybody knows, just a slingshot test to test all of the systems within the Orion capsule so they can start plotting their way, I think, to Mars is a goal of theirs, is to get to Mars. So
I wonder if they're going to do anything about that water that's theorized to be on the dark side of the moon, the side that never gets hit by or gets hit by minimal sunlight. They're going to be back there. Maybe shine a huge light and see.
I saw a post that was like, do you think that we could get Artemis 2 and the International Space Station to pass by each other? And do you think they'll just like flash their lights at each other, like wave hello? I was like, that'd be so funny.
That would be hilarious.
So they will be photographing the dark side of the moon. Hopefully there's enough, I don't know, low light performance. I don't know how you could even prepare for a camera that. Yeah.
I'm sure they have like sophisticated cameras. If not, I'm sure their iPhones could probably do it. I have seen videos of them in outer space tossing we talked about this, tossing an iPhone back and forth between each other.
That's too good.
There was one video where there were two of them sitting in the two pilot seats, I want to say. And in the like left-hand corner, all you see is Christina, one of the astronauts, pop up with the phone camera to take a picture and then like disappear a second later.
That's pretty cool.
My favorite fun fact, though, is they have a mascot.
Okay.
His name is Rise. Okay. He is inspired by the Earthrise photo from Apollo
11
or 18, one of the two. It is the like most famous photo of Earth from the moon people have seen. It was drawn by a young boy in California. They had a worldwide contest where kids could draw in what they wanted the Artemis 2 mascot to be. So this young kid's mascot was created. He sent it in. It was like 2,600 entries. And his was selected and made into a stuffed animal that is currently floating in the Orion capsule.
That is really cool.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and inside of Rise is a micro SD chip with 5.7 million names on it that you could enter in any name. So you could enter in your kids' names, grandkids, your mom and dad's names, and those names are all in that micro SD chip tucked into Rise, floating around the moon.
That's really cool. Nice.
Floating around the moon.
No, I'm going to cut that line out, I promise.
Robert and I were talking about this the other day, and we're trying to remember the correct word. Neurodivergent.
Neurodivergent. This is my neurodivergent.
Get there.
My neurodivergent moment.
Yeah, no, this whole time I've just been scrolling NASA's X account and just looking at all the media they're posting. It's amazing. Yeah. So Godspeed to Artemis 2, and it'll only go up from here.
Yeah, let's hope that Outlook is the worst of the problems.
Yes, yeah. Got all the funkiness out.
Yeah.
In cool news, maybe not quite as cool as Artemis 2, because honestly, how can anyone top that? Super Meat Boy 3D is out. If you, like me, remember maybe playing or watching your friends play this game for endless hours in the school library in high school, middle school, you can now play it in 3D. It released on March 31st and has a very positive review score on Steam.
Now here I'm wondering, will it be a recreation of the levels just set in a 3D environment, or will it be a whole unique level set? I think it's a unique level set with the whole 3D environment.
Yeah, it looks like I didn't play a ton of Super Meat Boy, but I'm not recognizing a lot of these levels.
Yeah.
Or at least these level layouts. Yeah. So if you'd like to pick that up, it is, at time of recording, 10% off on Steam for its launch.
Minecraft had a baby.
Yeah, it's very, very,
very
blocky.
blocky.
Yeah. This is an oldie, but it's a good one. I've seen a lot of it.
Oh, yeah.
Again, it is free until April 9th at 10 a.m.
And our pack talk of the week is our experience with Crimson Desert. Robert, you've played more of Crimson Desert than I have. Why don't you lead us off? What are your thoughts on it so far?
My thoughts on it so far is it is a game that I will continue playing because I see a lot of potential in its combat. I don't see much of the potential in the story, but I'm pretty early in, and it could always get better. It can always go up from where it's at. And I've heard only good things from people who get further into the game. Of course, everyone's going to have their complaints early on, but it has a very positive review on Steam, which came up from the mixed review that it had initially. So we can see that the more time people spent with the game, the better it got in their eyes. So I hope that I've had the same sentiment.
Yeah, I agree. The controls, you started on mouse and keyboard. I jumped right in with controller.
Yes.
I thought controller was a little funky. You said controller is...
So in my opinion, it's the way that it's supposed to be played. I think, and they tell you that at the beginning of the game. And I agree, because on mouse and keyboard, I was struggling a lot. Even when it just came to a boss, I was fighting him, and I was like, man, it just feels weird and clunky to even try to dodge or roll. And I switched to controller, and I was able to defeat him immediately.
Yeah. Are you playing with DualSense or
Yes.
Xbox? Okay.
DualSense.
Have they fixed the issue where when I tried to play with my DualSense, it said, hey, you have to plug this in. Doesn't support over Bluetooth. Is that fixed?
I immediately plugged it in.
Okay, so you've just been playing plugged in.
Yes.
I reloaded to my Xbox controller. I switched to my Xbox One controller, but the story has been confusing. I find myself using the fast forward button a lot.
Yes.
in
I
the
wish
story.
it was a skip cutscene button.
Yeah, which isn't to say it's bad. I'm having a ton of fun on just running around exploring, finding camps, clearing out bandits. We both experienced the same thing where it tells you to go clear the initial camp, like the tutorial camp, and you defeat a couple of the enemies there, and then it just cuts to a black screen, and hey, you've successfully taken over the entire camp.
Yeah, it didn't let me defeat every single last goblin that I wanted to beat, but you know, as long as I got their camp, that's fine.
Yeah. It's been a lot of fun just running around doing stuff. The game looks fantastic.
Oh yeah, it looks really great.
Yeah, especially once I turn on ray reconstruction, which I can't run at full resolution. I have to knock my game down to 1080p. But I'm running 1080p cinematic details with ray reconstruction on. It looks fantastic. DLSS quality looks fantastic.
Do you keep ray reconstruction on?
Once I knocked it down to 1080p, now I can run the game at like 40, 50 FPS with ray reconstruction on my 4070.
Do you keep that?
Yeah, I keep it on.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's how I'm playing the game now.
Okay.
But it's just in a window. 'Cause
Yeah.
if I stretch that out to my full monitor resolution, it just stretches it because I have an ultra wide. It doesn't just put it in the center. So
Yeah. I couldn't even maintain the ray reconstruction, or I wanted to keep my my full resolution and all the other things.
What
But
is your monitor resolution?
My monitor resolution is 1440p.
Okay, yeah, mine's 1440p, but a little wider.
Yeah.
Try playing at 1080. You might be able to do ray reconstruction. Your graphics card's faster than mine.
Yeah,
so you should be able to do that. Yeah.
It may, because
The
AMD
works
cards
a little differently on that in this
Yeah.
game, right? Okay. Yeah, no, it looks fantastic. The gameplay's fun. The story is not for me. Not for me. It's like, hey, here you can fly now. It's like, okay, why? What's this gonna do? Just jump off here. It'll be fine. I think they're trying to capture the same moment of wonder you get in like Tears of the Kingdom when you're up on the Sky Islands and you jump off and that's like the intro to the game and the music swells in and you get the nice cinematic effect. But this one you just fall to earth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They try to
Different
make it really cinematic.
Yeah.
It's pretty nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
In my first scene where you jump off the island, I kept falling and I was like, oh, let me see what happens can I pull my glider out last second? Don't try that.
Oh, you can't? I would glide for a little bit and then drop and wait for the little stamina bar to recharge, then glide for a little, like, so was taking it in steps.
Yeah.
I was scared to just hit the ground full speed, but so it doesn't work if you try and do it last minute.
Well, I think there's a area of leeway you can have, but there's a startup animation on the glider, so just be careful.
Oh, yeah, there is. Have you been collecting in Fallout and Skyrim? There's older similar games. Anything that isn't glued down, nailed down. I'm taking to sell. Are you doing the same thing?
I'm not actually.
No? Okay.
Yeah, in a lot of games, I am a constant loot collector, just picking up whatever I find, and then I fill up my inventory. But every time I heard early reviews of this game, and there were people talking about my inventory gets full too quick, or
it was a big complaint.
yeah, there aren't enough inventory slots. So I was being very wary of that, and I've just been picking up whatever I need or whatever I feel like I'll need in the future.
I'm still picking up everything and then running back to the near, to town. I'd say the nearest town, but so far it's only one town or a couple of merchants selling everything and then running right back out. I forgot that in the intro camp you have a personal chest. I forgot about that till a couple days ago.
I never go to that intro camp, really.
Mine's now full of like timber and stones and random junk I pick up now.
Have you figured out how to receive the pre-order?
No.
Shield?
Have you?
No.
Yeah, I haven't. No idea. Hasn't been mentioned. Nothing about it. I'm supposed to have my horse armor and an armor set and a shield, I think.
Yeah.
For the what's it called? The deluxe edition.
The one thing I'm worried about is that we're gonna reach past the level or point of even needing that shield or needing the horse armor, and we're gonna have something way better.
Yeah.
And we're still never gonna get it.
Yeah. The interface itself. I don't know if you have the same issue, but whenever I try and go and equip an item, I've been trained by other games to go to that equipment slot and try and open it and then select something. But you have to go over to the right-hand side, then pick it, and it'll replace the item on the left. But some items, like your starting equipment, are listed as key items, so have a separate menu on the...
Yeah, at the top, the purple menu.
Yeah, exactly. Versus, I ran into this issue with axes. So I had a Bekar axe, tried to chop down a tree, did not work. I had to switch to the lumber axe or the woodcutter's axe instead. Looks the exact same, but has a different name, and that then was able to chop down, unlock that special animation.
And you'd think with all the inspiration they take from Breath of the Wild and other games that they would take one of the best aspects, which is that you can choose whatever weapon you desire to cut down a tree at the minimum.
You can cut down a tree with a giant rock.
Yeah.
If you try hard enough in Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom, it doesn't matter.
But locking it down to just one axe is restrictive for little to no reason, or at least in that specific instance. I'm not sure if it's...
It feels more like their other game, Black Desert Online, the MMO in that regard. And the inventory seems more like that as well. I see a lot of... I think in that game you could pay for extra storage as well. So they maybe just brought that system straight over. And instead of paying for storage, you just get it at your camp. But yeah, overall, it's fun. If you had to give it a score out of 10... I know you're pretty early in. I'm a little bit even earlier in than you are.
I'd say I'd give it a 7.5 out of 10 so far.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking a 7. Gameplay's really fun, which might be similar to what we scored Borderlands, actually, now I'm thinking back on it.
No, I think I gave Borderlands something way lower.
Really? Okay.
I think it was a 6 for
Was
Borderlands.
it a 6?
Yeah.
An average of 6? Okay. Yeah.
I could be wrong. We could probably check.
We're going to need a little game review score chart.
I think I gave it a 5 or a 4.
Okay.
Haha, one can check. Let me see if I can find the...
Don't fact check me on that.
So overall...
No, I'm going to fact check. Give me a second.
Yeah. My first hour or two of the game I did not enjoy. Just doing the tutorial and the opening. Once the world opened up, I've been having a lot more fun.
Yes, I feel like that's the case for most of the moments in the game where whenever it's on rails...
It was a 4.
We had a 4 average.
It was a 4.
Score? Wow, okay.
The average score for board... Oh, I'm sorry. Hang on. 5 out of 10.
Okay, 5 out of 10.
5 out of 10.
So I think you gave it a 6. I gave it a 4.
Probably,
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, I would say at this point, pick up Crimson Desert on sale. Maybe it might be a fair thing to say. Unless you really want to play it right now.
If you're into those type of games, if you're an MMO type of guy, you'll enjoy it.
Single player MMO, I think, would be a great way to describe it.
Yeah.
Or if you really like Skyrim and Fallout and just exploring a vast world, go for it. Yeah.
Once it takes you off the rails, you're free.
Yeah. Well, I think that is all we have for you this week. Abby, how can people get in contact with us?
Yeah, you can shoot us an email at podcast@doghousesystems.com. You can leave us a voicemail at 972-810-4347, or you can DM us on social media, Instagram, Facebook, X, TikTok, and Threads at Doghouse Systems. And if you would like to talk to us about anything game related or
PC related, hardware
PC
related,
related,
yeah.
hardware related, you got any questions, anything like that, feel free to contact us one of those ways.
Rocket related?
Yeah.
Artemis 2 rocket
Artemis
related.
2
Yes.
rocket related, yeah. That's all I got.
That's all I got.
Well, then bye.
All right. Toodaloo.